All right, we're live for the third day in a row. Today we're going to be talking about some back-to-back snowstorms that are going to be moving into the northwestern portion of the United States as the viewers roll in. This is mostly for the people who watch it after once it's on YouTube. Right now, looking at current radar, snow in Calgary, Canada right now, pretty heavy snow. Bands moving through quite frequently. These will eventually make their way down into Montana as they expand westward, and then they're going to make their way south. A lot of Montana and North Dakota is going to be involved in the snow event here. I've made a video earlier. Let's see here. Yeah, so this one, if you want to go check that out, is the first snowstorm as it's happening right now. So that's why I made a video on it. But the other ones are kind of more of a medium range type event. So we will be talking about that in just a minute. I want to wait for all the viewers to roll in so that I can go ahead and say it all for everybody, so I don't have to repeat myself too much. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead. I make lots of seasonal forecasts and live streams like this one, as well as videos that are just educational as far as weather goes. So as the viewers roll in here, if you have any weather-related questions, you can go ahead and ask. I am open to asking or to answering all of those for you guys. Gonna go ahead and look at the models now. So the GFS, you see we have our high pressure system right here behind the low pressure system. This is gonna kind of just force everything to quickly move out. Otherwise, this would probably dig well into Minnesota and Wisconsin, but the pattern is a quite quick one right now as the trough is just starting to move through. So the jet stream is going to go ahead and fling that out of here. As it very quickly moves that way east. And then we're going to be looking at our next system. It's going to originate kind of further south. So low pressure system will be located right under Wyoming. And it'll really, this will be a bigger chance for some snow for Wyoming, portions of Utah, and also still Montana and North Dakota as well. Not forgetting about you guys. But it's really this one that we're concerned about here. This is Sunday, so not even too far into the future. I'd barely consider this medium range, but I will. Definitely on the shorter side of medium ranges. The low pressure system actually originates in the four corner states here, and then it moves directly north. I forget what the storm track is called actually, but maybe a Colorado low? I don't know. Anyway, you can see the trough quickly goes inverted and pulls the low pressure system to about here. So here's the track, and then it's going to quickly also move into Canada and away from us, as the next low pressure system will follow suit again. So we're going to take it one storm at a time, though, because this might be a little bit overwhelming, or I know it is, actually. To go to the live chat. Joe, hi. Is it gonna have a bad winter? I don't know, because I don't know where you're at. Silver Ghost 1800. Will winter this year be like 2014 to 2015? Yeah, it really will. That's my number one analog, so I certainly think it will. Will Arkansas have a bad winter this year? I think comparatively, yes. Comparatively, I would say yes, you will have a bad winter. Silver Ghost for the Great Lakes. Okay, thanks for clarifying. Yeah, it's going to be brutally cold, I think, and really, you're going to have an above average lake effect year. So if you're actually where you would get lake effect, then expect some of that to come your way. As I close out the comment. So looking at the next snowstorm, we'll start with this one. We'll call this snowstorm 2. Since this is snowstorm 1, we'll call this one low pressure system 2. New Hampshire is going to have a brutally cold winter and very, very snowy, I think. Farmer Frost. Yeah, the Rockies should get pretty good snow. That's actually what we're talking about here in this video. As all that moisture is going to pull north, could be a pretty good snowstorm here. A pretty good, pretty good snowstorm. So we will try to zoom in here, get a closer look. If you're a new viewer, you can go ahead and subscribe. I post a lot of videos like this. I do live streams, seasonal forecasts. So if you'd be interested in something like that, this one will be better. See, there's our... Well, I think this is pulling a lot of the moisture from the tropical system, but also a lot of it will come from this one. A lot of moisture going to be pulled from California, believe it or not, through to Utah, where this low pressure system will track through Wyoming and kind of into the Dakotas, Kansas, Nebraska, that area. So I'll get to everybody's questions after I'm done talking about this snowstorm. I'll take a break and start answering the comments. So if you do have any more questions, you can keep asking. I will go through those slowly but surely. Keep in mind, a lot of that is from the first snowstorm. Actually, we should probably just do 24-hour positives, no depth, so that this goes away. So here's our second snowstorm. You can see a lot of areas of up to 3 inches for Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, and then also areas, I'd say up to 2 to maybe 3 inches here for North Dakota for this snowstorm as well. Portions of Minnesota also getting a little bit of a licking, but not too bad here. Northern Utah also going to be getting possibly up to 4 inches. So this could be pretty modest sized snowstorm. We're gonna have to see if this will show more snow than this is showing right now. So we will take a look at the Canadian model real quick. Canadian model wants to have 6+ inches for the Wyoming Montana border, so it's a little bit more. I'm going to look at the RGEM 2. Let's see. Okay, so this doesn't go out far enough, unfortunately. Again, for the second snowstorm, we're looking at around Friday time frame. This will be a little bit more of an accurate number. See, here's our bigger snowstorm, where the mountains, the Rocky Mountains, could potentially be getting like, upwards of 18 inches, a true Rocky Mountain snowstorm here. So this one would be a little bit more extreme. And then on to the next one, you can see portions of Montana and North Dakota getting, 8+ inches. So lots of snow on the way in the coming, next week or two. Very exciting stuff. So after our first snowstorm, second snowstorm's pretty similar. Again, just a lot of mountain snow here. This could be the first widespread one, is this one right here, where it's not just peaks getting in on a lot of that snow. So I'll go back to radar as I answer comments. Okay. When will it snow? When will the snow start in New Hampshire? I'm expecting by November. It really just depends where, though. If you want to take a guess, yeah. When will the snow start here in Chicago? I think that there could be a early snowstorm in Chicago, so I'm thinking early November is possible for you guys, but we'll have to see. Will the bad winter for Arkansas be more snowy or more icy? Typically more icy, but snow isn't out of the question. I've got you on in the shop and listening. Maybe a tad more clarification on what you're talking about since I'm not watching a screen. Okay, yeah. So a lot of this snow, if that's what you're referring to, for the next, let's see. So Friday is going to be mostly a mountaintop event. Then Sunday might be a little bit more of a widespread thing where Colorado and Utah will end up getting a little bit more widespread snow of a few inches of snow. Beyond that, not as certain, but a few more mountaintop events potentially. So it just depends where you're at. I saw a computer model show a hurricane on Hatteras that is close to Norfolk, VA. What you think? Can it be right? Of course it can be right. I don't know how I feel about one going up the East Coast right now. I've heard the idea. As we take a look here, tropics are going to start getting a little wild. Yeah, I think that the only chance for a hurricane to come up the East Coast as of right now would probably be after the ridge in the southeast is gone, which would be after the 15th. Before that is looking a little bit more unlikely. I think that the Gulf is going to have the bigger risk until then. As we look real quick, the vorticity, this will show us where storms are located. So you see, it looks like we have 3 potential Gulf systems coming up. One is going to be right about here, and it's going to move over Mexico and then back into the Gulf and potentially hit the coast of Texas. That type of area is a weak system. Then we get our second system that'll develop around the Bahamas and potentially look to hit Florida and the Miami area. And then our third system is going to take the same track as the first system, but hook around and hit Mexico again potentially. That one looks to be a bit stronger. Mr. Real 6218 VR. Why is Cincinnati weather so weird right now? I don't really know. If you could tell me what's weird about it, I could maybe answer it better. Oh, it's 86 degrees out right now. Yeah, I've been calling for hot weather in the first half of October, so it was to be expected. I can swear there will be no exciting stuff in my area, never in 10 million years. Oklahoma? Yeah, there's always exciting stuff there, man. So far, every YouTube site says something different. You all need to get together and get on the same page. Well, as soon as they call for what I'm calling for, then I will be on the same page as them. But I don't know exactly what you're talking about. River J. Brooks, if you could clarify. Carrie, I'm not even going to try to say your last name, but hi, good to see you live again. I'm pretty sure I won't be feeling any cold weather until mid-October here in central North Carolina, much less snow. Feeling sorry for myself here. Yeah, it looks like second half of October is your best chance. Hopefully the tropics go quiet so it can start winter. Yeah, they'll probably wind down here pretty soon. My son is in college in Jacksonville, Florida, and my sister lives there. I hope you guys have a beautiful winter. Oh, Chad, I thought you were in the Oklahoma for some reason. Yeah, you guys get a lot of thunderstorms in the southeast, do you not? Could still see a Category 3 hurricane over Norfolk, VA by late October. How likely before season is over? Less than 1%. I'm new here, so I'm hoping for that too. I'm new there. I'm hoping for that too. When will north central Arkansas see its first snow? Hmm. Probably late December, early January. Somewhere that time frame. Bastardi is calling for a lot of snow in the southeast this winter. Do you agree with this? First off, a lot of respect for Joe Bastardi. I've known him for quite a while. Also, his son uh, is right around my age, so we've talked before. He's big into weather too, if you didn't know. So shout out to them. First off, yeah, I have a lot of respect for what he says. So it the southeast, I think, relatively speaking, yes, you will have above average snowfall. It's not going to be anything crazy like you'd be tempted to think, oh, well, we're going to get a ton of snow. Well, it's still not going to be a ton of snow. It's just going to be more than you would typically get. When do you think Rhode Island will see their first snow? I think early December, late November, that time frame. It depends, especially if you're coastal. But if you're inland, maybe a little bit sooner. But that's my that's what I'm thinking. Everyone skips my area. I can't even get a blank darn thing. Yeah, I don't really know what to say. What is even your area? I don't know what you mean by that. J Penrod. 99 Wolf 17. He is GOAT. I think you're referring to Joe Bastardi. Yeah, he is one of the best seasonal forecasters of all time, for sure. Definitely. If you're a new viewer, make sure to subscribe. Um, Make sure to subscribe. I do live streams like this. I also make seasonal forecasts and monthly forecasts. Also, make sure to leave a comment or question anything regarding weather. I'll be happy to answer it for you. Is it possible cool weather hold off until late November and we stay in 80s for Norfolk, Virginia? It got to cool off at some point. Can't stay warm forever. We'll catch up on cool weather after bring. So, yeah, by Halloween, it will be 70s. I swear to you, I know it's hard to believe. And by early November, you'll start to see some days in the 60s, and then by the end of November, days in the 50s. It happens every year. I know it feels like it can't happen or it won't happen, but it does every year. It's just when you're up against the ocean, things kind of are lagged a little bit behind. Just like spring seems to never come and it seems to be cold, or at least sort of cold, for quite a while. Which area are you in, Chad? Yeah, I'm very curious too, Chad Crawford. Speaking of, if God took money, I would. If I had $1 million, I would pay him to send me a good thunderstorm. I highly doubt that you would give him $1 million. I would, if I were you and I had $1 million, I would definitely spend it on moving away if your area is really that bad. What is the possible total snowfall in north central Arkansas? It really, I'm not really familiar with your average, but above average, like a few inches at least above your average. How much snow will Washington D.C. get this winter? I think a lot. I think last winter was really a dud for you guys. but I think you're gonna have like really above average snow this year, especially there. What is your forecast for the Mid Ohio, West Virginia area for snow for this winter? I'm calling for above average snowfall with below average temperatures. If you're a new viewer, make sure to subscribe. If you haven't already, I make live streams like this as well as seasonal and monthly forecasts. And also feel free to ask any weather related questions. I'm here to answer those. We're looking at the snow across southern Canada right now. Hmm. Do you think Rhode Island will get above average snow? Yes, I do. Ricky Aldridge, do you see a quiet November severe wise? It seems to me we will just jump from hot to cold without much ado. So no clashes really. Um, it's hard to say. It's really hard to say. I think this whole year's been quiet severe wise, so I'm tempted to say yes. So, but that's really more of a mesoscale type forecast there, so I can't really tell you completely about November. I would have to get permission to move away, or I would move to Arkansas. Oh, so you're a kid. I see, I see. Well, San Diego, I have a friend there. I don't live there. Get rain or snow this winter? Also, do you see Chicago getting a ton of lake effect snow this year? I should have asked you before. San Diego probably won't see snow. And probably not a lot of rain. Probably your average amount of rain. Uh, and Chicago lake effect snow, that's hard to achieve kind of sometimes, you know what I mean? Because you're on the western side of the lake, so it really just it's hard to say. New Antarctica, I subscribe because I like your videos. Thank you. Sometimes I have an early fall in Norfolk, VA. I seem colder September's. It will be a late fall every year in Norfolk, VA. I don't know what you're talking about, honestly. How about Chicago? Yeah, Chicago's going to be brutally cold. Do you think DC will get a winter similar to 2009, 2010? No, I don't think you'll get that much snow. Not that much. Above average snowfall for Western New York? Yes. Hello, I am a new to Florida, Fort Lauderdale. If we get cool this winter, will it be a slow, gradual change in temps or quick and sudden? Probably subtle, just because of the ocean. Yeah, so probably pretty subtle. I feel strongly that the Illuminati are geoengineering my area for some reason. Everything skips and goes around. Well, you have to think to yourself, why would they do that? Like, why do they care if a thunderstorm hits your house or not? Like, only you care, probably. So nobody's really changing that. You're just getting in your own head, most likely. When should we expect first Western West Virginia? I want to say November. November or early December. Do you think Centers, Minnesota will be above or be below snowfall? I think right around average. Are you on Wonderground? Just wondering. My name is Lost in Ohio. Been a member since 2007. I don't know what I've heard of Wonderground weather, but I've never heard of like a membership or anything like that. So I'm curious though now. So if you want to inform me what that is. I feel aerosols are blocking it. Could we get up to 20 named tropical storms before season ends? How many more names before we shut down hurricane season? I don't think a lot more. I think we've seen the peak in September when there was like 3 storms in the Atlantic all at once. That's, I think, when we peaked out. I mean, we've already had, I think, 12, so I think it's going to be only a couple more. And if so, I think in the Gulf for sure. Does warmer fall mean colder winter? Yes, actually. That correlates directly. You wouldn't believe it, but when we have warmer falls, a lot of the time that means that there's colder air stored up in Canada, and that allows for a lot of early snowfall in Canada. And if that snowfall builds a big snowpack, that makes frigid air. When the air pools from Canada all the way to the United States, that leads to really cold Novembers and Decembers. And if it stays warm through November and December, that's even better, honestly. Then your January and February are usually absolutely frigid. Chicago's first frost. I can't really put a date on that. What do you think about the North Atlantic Oscillation? Positive or negative? Can't really say this far out. That's a weekly oscillation, so can't forecast it that far out, unfortunately. Do you think North Carolina will see any snow in November or December? It maybe the mountains. There was 4 tropical storms in the Atlantic first since 2008. Yeah. When will winter hit northern Ohio? I think late November, early December. If you don't mind me asking, what is your stance on global warming? I don't answer that question. When will the first snow be in the DC area? I think late December, maybe mid-December. Is this winter going to be a solar minimum winter? I mean a normal minimum and not grand one? Yeah, so this winter will be kind of an approaching minimum winter. So the solar minimum winter, I think, is next winter, is really going to be the true solar minimum year, but this is going to be pretty darn close to one. So you could expect possibly similar effects. Kane Darby, hi. Chad Crawford, I did live in Oklahoma years back. I was always skipped. Yeah, I thought you had mentioned something about Oklahoma before. Will Maine have a bad winter? Yes. Yes, they will. Wonderground with Dr. Bob Henson has blogs and has had them for years. You can join and post. I seldom post now because of the political posts going on, like the global warming mess. Yeah. Do I just go to wonderground.com, or could if you commented a link on one of my videos, I'd really appreciate it. I'd be happy to join. If stays warm in Norfolk, VA, could be a very cold November and December to make up for the cold weather we miss. We are due for a record cold month. Yeah, I think by late October and into November, it's going to become very cold. I think that we're going to get sneak peeks at that cold, and then it's going to kind of like be off and on through November and December. That's just an early look, though. Next winter will be solar minimum. Yes, I agree. So just wonderground.com. Got it. Okay. When will Arkansas start feeling like fall? Because high was 88 today. Second half of October. Where's the flat earthers and GeoHeart people? Earth is round. Yeah, usually they're here. So it's kind of weird. I know you only covered the States and some of Canada, but what are your thoughts on typhoon heading towards Japan and Korea? My niece is in South Korea teaching English to kids. I worry. It's a crazy typhoon. Very strong typhoon, super typhoon. So, yeah. I would be worried. I don't really have a track I could put on it, but it's going to be insanely strong. What do you think of snowfall possibilities for northeastern Pennsylvania? For this winter, I think you'll have above average snowfall, if that's what you're asking. I really want a very cold winter. It's so hot. When will North Carolina /VA see the chills. It depends what you mean by chills. You're going to be starting to see below average temperatures sometimes in the later half of October. Everyone's saying El Nino Mordecai. Your thoughts? Yes, and a not true Mordecai El Nino. True Mordecai El Nino would be a little bit more different than what we're getting, but yes, for the most part, we will be getting a weak Mordecai El Nino. It hit 95 degrees and bone dry in my area today. Has winter set in for the west, or do we see the ridge set in there and the cold shift to the east here in a couple of weeks? I think I don't have to add anything to what you just said. You hit it right on the head there. That's exactly what I think. And all the models think and everything. Everything's leaning towards what you just said. How many snow do you expect for northern VA this winter? I think quite a few. Is it a coincidence that whenever the Pacific Ocean has a lot of tropical activity, the Atlantic is quiet, and when the Atlantic is active, the Pacific is quiet? No, because that's kind of the MGO phase and stuff, or the MJO phase, and where it's located. So usually there's a certain area of the globe that's receiving the most precipitation. It's really confusing, but no, it's not a coincidence. I vaguely remember the 2009-2010 minimum winter. I was just in middle school in Miami. Almost every low in January was close to freezing, and daytime highs was in the 50s. We were not used to that. Yeah. So is it possible we can see a normal El Nino instead of a Mordecai? Yes, it is possible, but I'm really leaning towards a Mordecai. 99 Wolves. I can't put a number of days, snow days on Chicago, unfortunately. Chad, I live in Calhoun, Georgia, and the high in Cartersville was not 95. Oh man, you just got told. Just got taught a lesson. Any big 1 foot blizzards in DC this year? I think if there is a year for that, I think this is the year. What's your favorite season? Somewhere in fall and winter. One of the two. One of the two. I am thinking about trying to go to Europe for a windstorm 2018. You can't move out of your city, but you can go to Europe for a windstorm. Very funny. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure to. I do live streams like this, and I also do a lot of weather-related videos like seasonal forecasts and monthly forecasts. So if you're interested in that, I would greatly appreciate a subscription. Also, if you have any weather-related questions, I'm happy to answer them. I'm here just to discuss that with you guys. So, yeah. Going through all the comments. I'd be careful what I wish for. I might pay for the cold winter this year in Norfolk, VA. It's been way too warm. Will next summer be coolest ever in Norfolk, Virginia? I wouldn't say that at all. Matthew McOwen. Yes, that is what I'm calling for as well. You can check out my winter forecast. It's on my channel. Look at the updated one, the second one. I updated it a few days ago. So if you check that out, it'll have all the answers. Depends on how much finagling and jiggling people I can do. Can Amsterdam see snow this year? I'm not very familiar with European weather, so. Where are you from, sir? And appreciate you addressing us all, even the silly ones. Yeah, I'm from southeastern Virginia. Do you think northern Florida will see snow this year? Because the southeast seriously needs a deep, deep cool down. Doubtful. I'm very doubtful that northern Florida will see snowfall, but this would be the year for it to happen. Storm Chaser UK, a lot of snowfall in parts of Canada today. Yes, yes. If you look at the radar, places like Calgary and all these areas, really, are getting a lot of snow, so yes, you're completely correct there. How about Wisconsin winter? Very cold, heart of the cold. In Calgary, there is a huge snowfall going on in the area. Yeah, heavy snow right now, as we're seeing there on the radar. I wonder about South Florida. We'll see snow again. Very doubtful. Panhandle, maybe Florida, still doubtful. What type of temp anomalies do you expect in Virginia? Are you asking about Oh, okay. So for winter, uh, it's below average temperatures. Below average temperatures. I think northern Florida will see snow this winter. Okay, I wouldn't bet on it. I would never bet on it though. How cold will DC be? Pretty cold. Tons of snow also for Wisconsin. Always. Will Tennessee get a little snow, maybe a few inch, in Kentucky? Are you talking about this winter as a whole? And that's a pretty broad area. So I'd say somewhere in Tennessee will, yes. It has snowed early January. Last 2 years in Norfolk, VA will be coming late next winter. Hold off until mid-January. It is usually for me to get a snowstorm last to first week of January. I never understand your sentences, man. I'm not even trying to hate on you. I'm excited for this winter in my area, the Eastern Great Lakes area. Yeah, I would be excited too, for sure. They are very warm this year, so when the cold air moves over them, man, expect the snow to be producing for sure. Will there be an Arctic freeze this year like last December, or can't tell yet? Um, really can't tell yet. I think January, February will be the coldest months, so it snows more in February and January in Tennessee, yes. Will Arkansas have below average temperatures or above average this winter? Slightly below average. I have been recording the temperatures, and they are running much colder than normal already. We are called the Great White North. Is it true I wanted to go see a big storm on 16/12 to travel for Christmas without having to ask? I confess I did. Astral projection. It worked too. Isn't that like lucid dreaming, like where you can like fly around and stuff? That's kind of crazy stuff, man. Just to see some weather events. Nice live. But I gotta go. Love your content. Thank you, New Antarctica. It is usually for me get a snowstorm in Norfolk, VA, first week of January. It can't snow every year like this. Probably not. A hard freeze a full 30 days later than ever recorded in Florida. There's going to be widespread severe weather in Wisconsin tomorrow. Does this happen often in October here? In an October like this, yeah, where the temperatures are really split from east to west, you're kind of caught in between. So it's very common, I would say, for severe weather. Have you heard of Tropical Storm Leslie? Yeah, that's which one is that? Yes, the one in the middle of the Atlantic. Have heard of it. I think the early snow in Alberta is a sign of what's to come this winter. It's not really a sign as much as it is. It's a good thing that this snow is building up in Canada, and it's gonna really allow for the air to be colder and colder and colder comparatively to normal. I went to Joplin in 2011 in the same fashion. I was out of my tree 1 hour. Get shut out of everything is why I do this stuff. Dude, that's so crazy. I think you're lying, honestly. Jim Nelson got to go. Will you live stream again tomorrow? Possibly. If there's something to talk about, I will for sure. If you guys want me to, I possibly could. If you're new to this live stream, though, make sure to subscribe. I make a lot of live streams like this. I also make seasonal and monthly forecasts as well as other types of forecasts. As well as if you're new to this live stream, make sure to leave a comment. I mean, I'm going through and answering all of them. So if you have any weather related comments or statements, I'm willing to hear them. When do you think winter will hit the Great Lakes area? Is as in first snows / heavy lake effect snows? I think November is going to be a big month. It is much colder during this time of year than in years past. I live in central Ohio. I've had a lot of warm Octobers strung together for sure. You will have to wait for the winds to come from the north, which will pull the cold air down. Yes. Talk about the severe weather on a live stream tomorrow. Maybe. We'll see. It seems like Arkansas has been the place for severe weather this year. Wonder if this will continue with the system this winter. If so, if I lived in Arkansas, I would be prepared for everything. You think South Central Texas might get snow? Uh, Probably not. Michael M. Yeah, it has been basically spinning there for quite a while. What's the snow and cold outlook for Flagstaff, Arizona? Below average snow, with above average temperatures. Will there be any blizzards in Boston? I think so. Do you think the polar vortex will possibly reach down a few times as far south as South Carolina? No, I don't think so. I think it might go as far south as southern Minnesota, southern Wisconsin, this kind of area, and kind of overtake Omaha and Chicago. This will really shove the cold air down, though. Oh, really? I'm not too far from you, man. I'm just near Muskegon, Michigan, right near the lakeside, where all the lake effect hits good with tons of snow, usually from lake effects. Yeah. Will there be any blizzards for northern Illinois? We'll have to see. I'm from Boston. That's cool, man. I'm a big Boston fan. I like all Boston sports. You know, I want to move to New England one day. I've been there multiple times. It's my favorite place in the world, honestly, is New England. Looks like you guys are getting thunderstorms right now, too. Was it not 30 degrees in Brownsville, Texas? I do not know. What's your opinion on Delaware this winter? Below average temperatures with above average snow. How cold could the temperatures possibly be in some of the harshest cold blasts this winter? It really just it depends where. It depends on a lot of things. I wish you understood using the spiritual realm to do this stuff. I watched an hour of Riley last year. That's crazy, man. You're going to get slammed up in the Great Lakes this year. Yeah. Yeah, big time. I certainly agree. How about them Patriots, guys? Did you guys think the Patriots were done this year? Do you think Delaware has a good chance of a white Christmas? Better chance. When do you think Southwest North Carolina will get their first snow? Let me think here. Probably early December, mid-December. That's why I'm excited for Lee. That's why I'm excited, Lee. It's also called remote viewing, depending on the degree. Dude, I'm not with you right now. Like, I'm telling you right now, I don't understand what you're saying. Like, I know a little bit about that stuff, but I just don't believe you. White Christmas in DC area, it's possible. It's possible for sure. This year will be colder and snowier than most years, so it's more possible this year than most years. So just keep that in mind. I love watching these videos you make. Keeps me posted on the snow and snowmobiling. Haha. Thanks for these live videos you make. You're welcome. Florence was longer than Jose. I hope I only get 2 or 3 inches of snow at a time. I hate to be stuck in the house for days. Yeah, unfortunately, I suspect that there will be a few 6 to 8 inch plus storms for Southeast Virginia area. That type of winter. Michigan. Was that a question of some sort? Will the East see big winter storms this year? Yes. Opinion on Chicago for the winter. The low average temperatures with average snow. You think that Northeast will get as much snow like last year? Snowstorms? I think more than last year. I think more like 2014 to 2015, but it really just depends on where you're at. Later, my friend. As Joe says, enjoy the weather. It's the only weather you're going to get. It's a good point. It's a good point. If you're a new viewer in the live stream, make sure to subscribe if you like live streams like this. Also, I do seasonal forecasts and other sorts of forecasts. And feel free to ask any weather-related questions. I'm going through and answering them all. What's up with all the severe weather in Pennsylvania? There's a tornado watch in northern Pennsylvania, I think. It's really just with the ridging in the east. It's really brought those thunderstorms that would normally be in the southeast all the way up to the northeast. Snow in central Texas this year? It's possible. Yeah. My girlfriend didn't believe me either till I levitated her car with her in the back in 2012. She grilled me 3 years. How did I do it? And I never would tell. Come on, man. You said you're too young to move away, but now you're talking about you had a girlfriend that had a car in 2012 and you levitated it. So I'm wondering. There's so many questions I have. Not sure if you said this or not, but do you think that Central Ohio will get any big snowstorms? I think it's possible. But cold will be the biggest feature this winter for you. If anybody has any other weather-related questions, feel free to ask them as I go back and look at the models real quick for the snowstorms. This is the new GFS. So quite the snowstorms for the Northwest. Is that usually to see this many 80s for Norfolk, VA into mid-October for Norfolk, VA? It has been warmest since 2007, I think. No, I've been living here for quite a while. This is quite typical. There's nothing weird about the weather that's been going on. It happens sometimes. Usually we'd be seeing upper 70s by now, but will Florida get snow this year? We got a lot, even do it's like 3 inches. That's a lot for us. I don't think that Florida will get a lot of snow this year. No. Will the DC snow hole happen again? No, I don't think so. I think quite the opposite. There was a historic snowfall this past winter in Brownsville, Texas. Yeah, was that December? Will El Nino form? Yes. Does hot falls mean cold winters? I don't know. Yeah, sorry. I didn't know what you meant there. Yeah, warm falls would correlate directly with cold winters because the warm air being in the United States usually means that there's colder air in Canada, which is allowing for a snowpack to build, which would mean more frigid air building up in Canada earlier on. So it would lead to, yes, more frigid winters. When do you think? Wait, sorry. Is this year going to be colder than the other years? It's going to be colder than some other years. Yes, it's going to be one of the colder winters. I think it was has a little. I don't know who you're replying to. Oh yeah. When do you think Delaware will see its first snow? I think late December. DFS will put a snowstorm from Alaska to Florida in one of its runs this winter. That'd be interesting. Around October 10th, with that huge system, is it possible that we could get some severe weather with that in the Great Lakes? Um, so this right here would possibly bring thunderstorms, but mostly heavy rains, I'm sure. Besides that, it's probably too cold. Maybe this one too would be thunderstorms through these areas. Yes, in December. Thumbs up. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this live stream here. It's been really good talking to you guys. I'll probably do another one tomorrow. Probably not 3 uploads tomorrow though. So yeah, does solar minimum have anything to do with our weather? Yes, it does. It makes things colder. All right, so yeah, what's your opinion on the Farmer's Almanac? I don't like the Farmer's Almanac. Maybe in my live stream tomorrow, though, I'll react to their winter forecast. I haven't seen it yet, so I'll see what I think if you want me to. Do you follow? Hold on. I will check this out once. Oh yeah. I've seen him before. Yeah, I'll follow him on Twitter. All right, see you guys.